After a weekend of protests following the death of Rayshard Brooks, the restaurant where he died is now a symbol of this nation's racial tensions. It's being cleaned up now, but the anger here hasn't subsided. The 27-year-old father of three was shot and killed by police on Friday, following a struggle with two officers. As he fled, Mr. Brooks was shot and later died. On Saturday night, the restaurant was set ablaze, and city leaders condemned the police's use of deadly force.
His children will continue to grow up for the rest of their life without a father now. We can't magically make Rayshard Brooks reappear. This building, we can build this building, this Wendy's back up. We can file an insurance claim to ensure that this building is built back up. I don't condone this, but I understand it, and I'm hurting, just like everybody else is.
Despite the resignation of Atlanta's chief of police and the firing of the officer who killed Rayshard Brooks, calls for police reform and accountability are growing.
We're going to make sure that if you shoot somebody in our state, you're going to be prosecuted if you're law enforcement. If you chase someone down for a nonviolent crime, you're going to be prosecuted as law enforcement. That our government is not going to tear gas people here, all right?
Across the US, anti-racist protests continue to grow. In Los Angeles, the Gay Pride Parade took to the streets in support of Black Lives Matter. In South Carolina, a million-man march was held as protesters marched on the State House, urging lawmakers to address police brutality, racism, and economic disparities.
We're going to show that we are black and we are proud and we are still here. Yeah. This is dedicated to everyone that we have lost in every facet of the system, to everyone we have lost to the murders and police brutality, to everyone that we have lost in our own communities for us not having the education that we need to get ahead.
It's been 3 weeks since George Floyd died in police custody. Now another African-American man's name has been added to a long list of victims of police violence. Police forces across the US are now banning practices like chokeholds. Others are promising more transparency as momentum for change continues. Many say that's simply not enough to tackle systemic racism, inequality and police brutality. Calls for real police reform are now growing here and across the world. Andy Gallacher, Al Jazeera, Miami, Florida.